Hi everybody, welcome back to another weekly market review for F45 trading.com. This week we're going to be discussing last week of June, the June 28th to July 2nd. So we're well into the full swing of summer now, and you can kind of tell by market activity, summer doldrums are starting to kind of push in here. We did have a couple 3 days 2 weeks ago where we had a nice push, but so far all last week was sideways. We even had an interest rate decision and all that on several markets, and so far we haven't got a whole lot of movement. So going forward to this week, bringing up the economic calendar, we've got in our midst a lot of holidays, or a couple of holidays I should say, starting off with the European bank holiday, and then we've got some medium impact news events for Tuesday, and then we've got OPEC news on Thursday, followed with a Canadian dollar bank holiday. Don't think because we have a Canadian dollar bank holiday that we probably won't see the Canadian dollar move with the price or any major news coming out of the OPEC meetings. Then we've got ISM manufacturing and for the US dollar, and Governor Bailey speaking for the pound on Thursday. And then Friday we have the fireworks for the week, which is non-farm. So if you're going to be looking for opportunities to trade, I'd highly suggest you trade them before Thursday, and sit on the sidelines for Thursday and Friday until next week. So what I'm looking for in dollar, I'm going to keep this review very, very short and sweet. I'm still looking for continuation to the upside. I believe if price were to mow all the way down here and then surge back higher and just return lower again and have another swing to the downside, I don't necessarily think that we would be sitting sideways here like this. So this market price action to me looks like they're probably going to stay bullish and probably try to run these highs and get up into this area here. My target for the week, because it is NFP, I think there's a chance we could get up into the 92.80, 92.75 level on US dollar. Now watch these two lows right under here. I am anticipating them running those lows and possibly coming down to the 91.40 level. High of this candle comes in at 91.37, so you could call it 91.40 just for a nice even number. That's kind of where I'm looking to the downside. If they wanted to sweep those lows, that we might get price to come down into, if I could get this level, there we go. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, and basically just a return to these old highs here, and then I'd be looking for price to shoot lower and then sweep those lows, not go any lower than about that level there, or possibly this high there, and then return to the upside. I'd like to see them sweep those levels. No guarantees that we're going to see these two levels here swept, and if they do, I wouldn't want to see them go much past that 91.40 level to the downside. I'd like to see them stay above these levels in here. So see the bodies of these candles in there. I'd like to see that act as support if they do decide to come all the way down that low. I don't think that would necessarily, I don't necessarily think price would need to come down that low, but also I wouldn't want to see that. If price goes down there, then they're going to come down to this area. You can target the consolidation levels in here, but I think we're probably going to see a continuation to the upside. I'm looking at these lows here to see if they want to sweep those for this week. So we'll see if we get that and go from there. And I kind of like the wick highs here. So whatever the wick highs are on your charts, I like that as a possible sweep below and then a rejection higher. EurUsd, same type of idea. We have a very similar setup. We've got these highs in here that possibly could get swept, maybe return back to these lows in this area in here. Don't want to see price go much higher than 197.85 to the upside. I think my line in the sand on EurUsd, if they did want to get up to it, would be about the 119.95 level. I don't think they should need to go any higher than that. And you see the low on this candle, 119.95. That'd be my absolute line in the sand. If we go higher than that, then I think we're going to start pushing up into this range there. Certainly can be tradable. I'd be waiting though to see what happens if price gets up into here, and then I'd be going long from there up to these highs there. But I think we're probably going to continue to roll over. I like how they left these equal lows down here around there, and my target to the downside, similar to what the dollar is, would be about the 1800 level. maybe even lower. For now, I think that's a fairly conservative estimate. It's a couple 120 pips from current location, but if we do get this swing up into here, it could be a possible 200 pip potential run to the downside. So that's what I'd be looking for on EurUsd. So again, just a simple run up here. And again, we may not see this sweep above those highs. On US dollar, you can see we have relatively equal lows there, but in EurUsd, that didn't happen. We saw a high here and then a higher high, and then they ran lower. So we may not see these highs get run. So that's why I'm saying, watch that level there. But I definitely think to the downside, we're probably going to see these lows run out this week. On GbpUsd, very similar. We did have a bit of a lower low on this candle right here, but nonetheless, my target ultimately on GBP is these lows under here. I kind of mentioned that. I've been mentioning these lows for a little while now, and we finally saw the push down, rebalance up into here, and then we're starting to roll over quite nicely as well on GBP. So I think my line in the sand to the upside, I don't want to see price go any higher than 139.35 area, 139.35 to 139.40. I think that would be sort of my area there that I'd be looking at. But if we do see a run higher, I'd like it to see it reject very, very quickly and just start. Honestly, I'd rather see this thing just start falling off from here. But just watch this 139.35, 139.25 level. I think that could offer a level that they may want to run back up to. But I don't want to see them go much higher than that. Possibly, and I just dropped down to a 4-hour chart, possibly a sweep above these highs right in here, and then a run back up to this consolidation level. That could possibly be where we want, if we do see upside momentum on this. But ultimately, I'd like to see this guy roll over and start running lower. So we'll see what we get there. Aussie dollar, again, very similar. Nice equal lows here. Very similar to EurUsd. I like this old low way back in here from the end of 2020 as a potential downside target to the downside. We had a couple equal lows there. Price rolled lower, swept all of this level here from last year. From earlier this year, and now we're kind of making a very, very weak retracement higher. But I think the upside on this one here has been captured from Friday's range up to 76.16. I think that there's a very strong chance that this will probably roll over to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for. Do not, if we do punch higher, I do not want to see price go above 76.50. So this line right here is 76.45 on this chart. Depending on what it is on your chart, it could plus or minus 5 pips. But I do not want to see price go above that. If we do, chances are then this is the interim downside for the next little while, and we could make a punch above these highs. But I think as long as we stay below this level here, we should continue lower. My target on the downside, on Aussie is right here, this low here, but I think they could extend it just a little bit and possibly run down to the 74.40 to maybe 74.20 to 74 even level. Okay. UsCad, very similar to the dollar. We had a nice punch up into here. Now this UsCad, I haven't been doing a lot of analysis on this one as of late, except for I had the analysis for it to run these highs in here. We had that discussion quite in depth in our members area, and I mentioned it a couple of times as well too in the versions here on YouTube. And we got that with stunning fashion. Nice 3-day push higher, a couple hundred pips to the upside, and hammered right back into this consolidation level in here. So if the dollar does drive higher, then I'll be looking for price on UsCad to similarly drive higher as well too. The $1 million question is, do we get all the way back above these highs in here? That's sort of what I'm looking to see. If we get back above into this region in here, I think there's a very good chance that it'll probably make a run for it and then really get back up into this level here. We had a nice drop off to the downside. It did go down a little bit lower than what I wanted to see. I wanted to see this level in here get respected. and then not drop below this little consolidation in here. But you can see here on, I think that was mid last week, we had a big deep retracement underneath there, and then so far we've just been stacking sideways. So very good chance until that Thursday Friday time frame we probably won't see a big movement in price. I could certainly be wrong, but it is NFP this week, so it may be a bit of a muted week, plus it's summer, so you definitely have to factor that all in. But nonetheless, on USCAD, I think if we head below this low here, so whatever the low from last Wednesday was on your chart, if we head below that, then I think they could probably sink USCAD deeper and possibly return back down to this consolidation area in here. But I think if we start to break out above these highs, it's probably just going to keep going. So watch for that on USCAD. Finally, crude oil. We're just slowly starting to chop here. We're just slowly just chop, chop, chop all the way higher. Not big daily ranges or anything. Now, if you look at the grand scheme of things, we've got a big major level up here. This is where they're going to go. They're going to take it up into here. Watch this high in here from 2 weeks ago at 72.95. We're at 73 right now, so I'd be expecting them to drop at least $1 back down into that potential high there, and then I'd be interested to see if they want to bounce from there and then possibly make that run up into the 75, 76 level that we have up in this range in here. So ultimately, that's my target going forward. And if we really get a runner from there and price just wants to keep, I mean, look at this price action in here. They are really getting behind this crude oil price. If they want to do that, I mean, I've heard lots of analysts and economists talk about $100 oil. That could be what's on the menu if this thing really gets bullish. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I definitely think that this 76 level in here, that's the target. We're probably going to end up seeing that this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And gold, I've actually got a target on gold at 1800. I want to see them shoot it above all these highs right in here and then reject. I don't want to see them go much higher than 1800, but I'd like to see a punch up and then a continuation to the downside and see if we can't get these two equal lows as a target. If that does happen, then there's a very good chance that they're going to continue this US dollar higher. So you can obviously plan accordingly on the rest of the foreign exchange markets, and away you go. That's it. That's all, folks. Again, wanted to keep it very short, very sweet. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for watching this. Please like and share and comment if you could. And we'll catch you guys next week. And for all my members, of course, we will see you in the chat room tomorrow, as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.